scheduling problems. So now we're going to introduce the time. It could be, when I say time, it could be days, it could be hours, it could be weeks, it could be months, it doesn't matter. Okay, so on the actual network that we draw, we must incorporate these times. So you can see here we've got A and B without anything. So I've started and I've put A comma B 8 and B comma 6 because that's the time that it takes for A and B. C is 1, so that's got it there. D is 2, etc., etc., etc. Now, because I needed the dummy down here, I've dropped the down arrow. The dummy is always got a weight of 0. Okay, always a weight of 0. So I've got to remember that. Now, what we're going to be doing is finding the critical path. Now, the critical path is all the activities that we need to do that we can't delay. And this completes the overall time of the project. So by the end of working out this forward scanning, we will know how long it's going to take us to finish this project, whatever this project is. Now the forward scanning, we're working out the earliest start time. And we always have to add to it. So for example, I start with a 0, and because there's 2 lines here, I put 2 zeros there. Now, you can use different color boxes. The second box is the next stage, so don't worry about the second box, just concentrate on the yellow box. So 0 for both of them, then 0, and I'm adding this 8. And there's only one way to get to this point, so 0 plus 8 gives me this 8. There's only one way to get to that point, that's following this line, so 8 that we've already got plus the 1 gives me the 9. Now I'm going to start back at the 0. So I've got the 0 there. I'm going to go along B. That's 6. So 0 plus 6 gives me the 6. Coming along here, there is 2 ways to come along here. The D, which is 6 plus 2, which is 8, or coming along the dummy activity, which is the 9 at the moment plus the 0, and I've got 9. So out of the 2, we always write the highest number. So that's how we get this 9 in this box, the highest number. To get to this point, there is 2 lines or 2 rows, whatever you want to call it. It's the 9 that we've got plus the 3, so that's 12, or the 9 that we've got here plus this one here along the F, which is 10. The 12 is the biggest, so we put 12 in there. One way to get to here, 12 plus 2, 14. One way to get to here, 14 plus 1, 15. So this project is going to take us 15 days. That's the minimum time that we have to complete this project, 15 days. So we've worked that out. Now we've got to do the backward scanning. This is before we can work out the critical path. Okay, so now with the backward scanning, we start at the back here, 15. And this time we are working out LST, the latest start time, and we put the smallest number in the box. Now, if there's more than 2 roads, 2 lines going into that one, I like to write them beside it because then that will help me with the next stage where I'm finding the float. So here we finished with 15, so I've put 15 in this box. Some people put a square and then a triangle. Some people do put 2 squares. It doesn't matter. You can even put just a slash between them as long as you remember which one's which. So we're starting with 15 and we're taking away now because we're going backwards. So 15, take away this 1, gives me the 14. The 14, take away the 2, gives me the 12. So I'm right here and I've got 12 in the blue box. I'm going to go to here. To get to there, I've only got one way. Okay, one way only. That means, which is along this road. So I'm going to do the 12, take away the 1. 12 take away 1 gives me the 11. So I'm at 11 at the moment. I've got 2 ways to get to this dot right here. Along this E, so I'm going to just put E here at the moment, and it's 12 minus the 3. 12 minus 3 gives me 9. Or I'm going to do along this dummy activity. So it's 11 minus 0. So this is along the dummy. I'll just put dummy here. Okay, which is really coming from F. Okay, so 11 take away 0 is 11. The smallest number out of those 2 is 9. So I've put the 9 in the box. I'll finish along the C. 9 minus the 1 gives me the 8. 8 minus the 8 gives me the 0. So I'm 0 there. Coming along this other branch. So I'm up to here. I've got 11. 11 minus 2 gives me the 9. The 9 minus the 6 gives me the 3. Okay, so that's how I do my backwards scanning. Now, where is the critical path? The critical path is where the two numbers are the same. So 0, 0, 8, 8. So there's my critical path. Then it goes along here, 9, 9. Now, where did this 9 come from? This 9, the second 9, the one in blue, came from along E. We're lucky here that these two are different and we can see it, but if they were the same, we need to know where it was coming from. So then we come along here, here, and here. So the critical path here would be A to C to E to G and to H. And I'm pretty sure I've got that written down, and I'll work out the floats for you. Okay, there's your, no, I didn't write down the critical path. There we go. The floats. The float is working out the ones that are not on the critical path. So I'm just going to rub this out here. So anything that's not on the critical path means it can be delayed. They have this float time. They don't need to start when we've said they have to start. Okay, so I'm just going to work out the float. So the ones that are not on the critical path. So B is not on the critical path. So B, to work out the float, we're just going to subtract it. Now, it's always at the start. So B is this one here, 3 minus the 0. That's what we're doing there, 3 minus the 0. So we get 3. The D is not on the critical path. D, 9 minus the 6, you don't need to show all that working out, is 3. The F is not on the critical path. F equals, there's the one where before F starts, 11 minus 9, 2. All the rest are on the critical path. The dummy does not have a float. Okay, so that's how we work out the float, as I just did, LFT minus EST. All right, example 1, write down the value of each pronumeral. So this is just one here that's got the 4 and 4, that's got the 12. So when I go forward, and remember, to get to this spot, there's two ways. So let me do this way first, because if I've got 4, I can't do the N there. So if I've got 12 here, that means this Q must be 8. Okay, so 8. 4 plus the 8 gives me the 12. Now I'm going to work backwards. 12. 12 minus 8 gives me the 4. That's not a problem. 12 minus what gives me 9. So 12 minus 9 gives me 3. So R, little r, must be equal to 3, because 12 minus 3 gives me the 9. Perfect. Okay, well, this has to be, what should P be to give me this answer here? Now remember, I'm going to get to 12 here as well. So if that's 4 and that's 3 here, so really if I'm, whatever this number is, I've got to take away 3. So 12 minus 3 is 9. This, I must have a 9 here as well. So N, little p must be 5. And that should give me all my things. It's not as hard as that. It's actually quite easier. Examples 2 says, consider the section of an activity network shown in the diagram. There it is there. What is the duration of activity B? Well, activity B, we don't know what it is, but if it starts at 0 and it ends up at 12, this must be 12. So activity B is 12. What is the latest start time of activity E? Well, there is activity E. Okay, from there, there's the start of it to the end. So latest start time is the 10, the one in the blue. Earliest start time of activity E, well, earliest start time of activity E is the 9. Flight time of activity E, 10 minus 9, 1. Doesn't say day or anything. Duration of activity A, well, again, it starts at 0 here and it gets to 3 here. So A must be 3 because 0 plus 3 gives me the 3. Duration of activity D, again, that starts at 0 here and it's ending up at 9 here. And it's not this way because that's 3 plus 4 gives me 7. So 9's bigger than that. So D must be 9. So as I said, there is ways to work things out. Example 3. All the activities and their duration in hours in a project at the quarry are shown in the network diagram below. The least time required for completing this entire project is 30 hours. So we know at the end here we've got 30 hours. That's not an issue. For each activity in this project, the table below shows the completion time, the earliest starting time, and the latest starting time. Complete the mission times in the table. Okay, well, we can work out the table. That's not an idiot. It's not a problem. We can do it a number of different ways. Okay, so if we've got later start time for A, we will need to work all this out. So I'm just going to do it. There's 2 zeros here and then 0 for each line. 0 plus 6. I better do this line first. 0 plus 5 gives me the 5. 5 and 2 is 7 or 6. 7 is the biggest. I'm just going to throw it in there. 5. Okay, D does not have that one. That's okay. I'll just leave that for a minute. Apologies for that one, but I can work this one out. If the latest start time for D is 9 and the earliest is 5, that means we should have 4 here. That's not a problem. Okay, so I'll continue over here. So if that's 4, that's going to give me 9. Okay, 7 and 4 is 11. 11 and 0 is 11, or 7 and 6. 13. 13 is so far 4 and 9 and 3 is 12. So it looks like I'm going to get the 13 there. 11 and 4 is 15. 15 and 3 is 18, or 13 and 2 is 15. 18 is the biggest. Okay, well, if that finishes at 30 and I've got 18, this must be 12 in here to get 30 hours in there. So we've got the K. So that's not an issue. Let me go backwards. So starting at 30, this is going to give me 18 here. Now, 18 minus 3 is going to give me the 15. 18 minus 2 is going to give me the 16 here. 16 minus 3 is 13 here. Okay, to get to this point from G, we got 15 minus 4 is 11, or 16 minus 0, which is 16 from the T. 16, 11 is the smallest. Okay, to get to this point, 11 minus 4, which is 7. 16 minus 6, which is 10, so 7 is it. I'll go along the A. 7 minus 6 is 1. Okay, so we've got that one. Finishing along here, 7 minus 2 is 5, or 13 minus 4 is 9. 5 is the smallest. 5 minus 5 is 0. So now we can fill all those in. Later start time is 1 here for A. Okay, for F, the latest start time for F, there is F. Now remember, this 7 is coming from the E. So for the F, which I'll do down here, F is 16 minus 6, which is 10. So this one has to be a 10 in there, right? So along the F route. K, completion time in hours for K, we worked out was 12. So we've got our 12 there. Find the critical path. Okay, I will write the critical path up the top here. It's where the numbers are the same. So I've got this B there. B. Then the next numbers are the same is C. The next one is E. The next one is G, J, and K. G, J, and K. And the project completion time is 30 hours. 30 hours, yep, 30 hours. It says it up the top there anyway. Okay, example 4. Okay, fill in the boxes, write down the critical path, and write down the float times of the activities. Right, I'll just do this in red. Okay, so we've got zeros. I like to put them on all. So this is for the A, 0, this is for the B, and this is for the C. 0 starting time there. Okay, so in here is going to be 9. In here will be 10. Okay, 10 plus 2 is 12, or 9 plus 4, 13. 13 is it. 13 is the biggest one. 13 plus 1 is 14. I'm just going to write it on the outside there, 14. Okay, I have in this point here, 13 plus 1, 14. To here, I've got 14 plus the 3, which is 17. 14 plus 1 is 15. 17 is the biggest so far, or 14 plus 2, sorry, 16. So I've got 17, or 16, or 3. So 17 is it. 17 plus 1, 18. Okay, going backwards. 18 minus 1, 17. 17 minus 3, 14. 17 minus along the C. 17 minus 3. 17 minus 3 is 14. Okay, to get to this point, 17 minus 2, 15. To this point, the 14, so coming from the F, 14 minus 1, 13, or coming from the G, 15 minus 1, 14, the 13 is it. 13 minus 2, 13 minus 2 is 11. 11 minus 10 is 1. That's for the A. Okay, going along E. 13 minus 4 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. That's why I like to put all of them there, because now I can work out my critical path. Critical path is along the B, because that's where the 0, 0 starts, comes along here, E. Okay, then if we look, that's 14, 14, so it comes along F, that's the only other one where the two numbers are the same, comes down to H, and then along the J. The float times for the non-critical activities. Okay, so A is not on the critical path. Float time, 1, 1 minus 0. C is not on the critical path. Float time, 14 minus 0, 14. D is not on the critical path. D, float time, 11 minus 10, 1. G is not on the critical path. G is 14 minus the 13. 14 minus the 13, 1. I is 15 minus 14, so I is 15 minus 14, 1. And I believe I have them all. A, C, D, G, and I. Yes. Okay. Example 5. Okay, so this one here, we're going to draw it all up as well. So let me draw all this up. Just project 6 activities are shown in the precedence table. Opposite, draw an activity network. Okay, so start here. A and B. A, that is 6. B, that is 9. A and B need to meet. Do I need A and B anywhere else? No. Okay, just let me rub that out then and join them together. I'm not going to use dummy activity because nothing else needs A or B to be before it. So I'm going to start like this. There's my A and there is my B. A is 6, B equals 9. There's the start. Okay, after A and B we need C and D. So C, there's my C, which is 8. There's my D, which is 7. D has to finish, and then C and E finishing. So I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to put it like this. There is my E, that is 10. And after C and E is F, which is 12. And there's my finish. Okay, complete the critical path. So because I know I've got to do everything, I'm just going to go like here. Right, 0 there, 0 there. 6 along the A or 9 along the B. I'm going to go for the 9. It's bigger. 9 plus 7, 16. Okay, 16 plus 10, 26, or 9 plus 8, or 26 is going to be it. 26 and 12 is going to be 38. So there we go, 38. 38 minus 12, 26, 26 minus 10, 16. Okay, to get to this point, along the C, 26 minus 8, 18, or along the D, 16 minus 7, 9, 9 is it. 9 minus 6 going along the A, 9 minus 6 is 3, and along the B, 9 minus 9, 0. Okay, critical path. Where are the numbers the same? The numbers are the same here. Where do this 9 come from? This 9 came from the D. So the D, then up to here, and then there. So the critical path is B to D to E and to F. And the float for the non-critical activities, float times. Okay. A, 3 minus 0. 3C is the 18 minus the 9. And that's all we have for float times. The minimum time to complete the project, 38. Minimum time to complete project equals 38. And I can't remember, that's supposed to be an 8. 38, I can't remember if it's hours or days or whatever. Example 6. Okay, we're going to do this one as well. So give myself, there's 3 here, so we've got P which equals 4, Q which equals 5, and R which equals 12. After P, we need S which equals 3. Okay, after Q, we need T which is 6. Okay, after S, we need U, and look, our RT and U coming, so I'm going to just go down here. This is my U, which is 3. After R, I need V, which is 4, but I also need now RT and U to finish, and nothing else needs U or T or R, so there's U and T finishing. So now I'm going to have this dummy activity finishing to show that R is finishing. Dummy with a 0, little d is fine. Now I can do my W, which is 8. My V finishes after here. Now I can do my X finishing at the same time as my W. So X is 13, and now I can do my Y, which is 6, and there is my finish. And I can see that I need to do all of them, critical path and minimum time to complete the project. I might as well do the float for you as well. So let's go here, 0, 0, 0 for all 3. 4 to get to here, 4 and 3 is 7. Okay, 5 to get to here. I'll wait for that one. 12 to get to here. Right, 7 and 3 is 10. 5 and 6 is 11. Or 12 and the dummy is 12. 12 is the biggest. 12 and 4 to get to here, 16. 16 and 13 is 29, or 12 and 8 is 20. So I'm going to be doing, what was X is 13, yeah? Going to be doing 29 there, 29 and 6, 35. Okay, 35 is there. 35 going backwards, 35 minus 6 is 29. 29 minus 8 is 21. 29 minus 13, 16. Okay. 21 minus 0 is 21. 16 minus 4 is 12, the lowest one. 12 minus 12 is 0 along the R. Okay, 21 minus 3, 18. 18 minus 3, 15. 15 minus 4, 11 along the P. 21 minus 6 coming along the T. 21 minus 6, 15. 15 minus 5, 10. Okay, critical path. Critical path 0, 0. Oh, oops, that was 10. Sorry, erase that one. It is 0, 0 there. Okay, 12, 12, 16. So it comes here, and comes here. So critical path is R to V to X to Y. Time to complete the project, 35. Completion time, 35. And I can't remember if it's hours or whatever. It does weeks, 35 weeks. It says it in the table. Okay, let us do the float for the non-critical activities. Float. Okay, so P, 11 minus the 0, 11. Q, 10 minus the 0, 10. T, 15 minus 5, 10. S, 15 minus 4, 11. U, 18 minus 7, 11. And W, 21 minus 12, 9. And all the rest are on the critical